Welcome back to Steins Gate. Last time Okarin realised it's not as simple as, change the derail, change the timeline, save Mayuri. Because on the original timeline, way back at the beginning, that both he and I had forgotten about, Kurisu died. Kurisu's death was the trigger for the first derail. So reversing that, Kurisu's dead. So he's now stuck choosing between the two world lines, the one with Mayuri dying and CERN taking over everywhere but Kurisu surviving, or the one where Kurisu dies but everything else, as far as he knows, is fine. He hasn't made that choice yet. He's kind of just hanging on, hoping that somehow, reversing Moeka's derail, reversing the Rounder's knowledge of where the IBM 5100 is, has saved Mayuri. Maybe Divergence has already gone past that 1%. Maybe everything is fine. So he spent the day with Mayuri. He's coming back in the evening, and that's where we're picking things up, just waiting to see what happens. So yeah, let's go. We arrive at the lab. I look up at the second floor, but there's no light in the window. Oddly enough, there's nobody here today. I've got a bad feeling about this. Is Moeka gonna ambush us? On the previous world line, I forgave Moeka and Tennoji, but that has already been undone. This is a new world line. The Rounders are still alive, and they're still after the time leap machine.
Mayuri, ここでちょっと待ってろ.
Wait here, Mayuri. I motion for her to sit and wait on the bench in front, then I carefully check the area. I know my efforts are likely futile, but still, I want to do anything I can. Anything to give Mayuri a chance, however small, of surviving on this world line. Something tells me it would be foolish to go straight up to the lab. So first, I decide to check the street for any suspicious people. I walk down the street towards Kuramai Bashidori, careful to always keep Mayuri in sight. Suddenly, a white station wagon parked at the end of the street fires its engine and takes off in our direction. What? I can see clearly through the front window. The man in the driver's seat is unfamiliar. But I have seen that station wagon before. It's the same one Moeka used to run us over on a previous world line. The same one Tennoji used to transport the IBM 5100. And now it's bearing down on me at full speed. I'm in the centre of the road. There's nowhere to run. The station wagon flips on its high beams, instantly turning my vision white. I can't move. It's all happening too fast. I expected an ambush inside the lab. Instead, I'm facing a charging car. What do I do? I'm fine. I won't die. This world line hasn't approved that fate. No. Wait, what day is it? This is the first time I've made it to the 17th. Does that mean my death is still undecided? Will I die in Mayuri's place? If that will save her, if that will end this, then maybe it's for the best. No, I don't want to die yet. Two contradictory emotions collide in my mind. My body doesn't know which way to turn. Will I be the one to die? Okarin! She's going to push him out of the way. Something slams into my back. I open my eyes. I'm lying on the side of the road. My whole body hurts, but I don't appear to be seriously injured. Someone saved me? I look up to see the station wagon's tail lights disappearing around the corner. And there, lying in the centre of the road, is Mayuri. I run to her side. Mayuri is bleeding from the head. The pavement is slick with blood. Did she protect me? But that's not what I wanted. I lift her body up in my arms. Her eyes twitch, then slowly open.
おかり。
まゆり。ごめん。俺のせいで。
Mayuri, I'm sorry. It's my fault. Her hand wanders, as if seeking something. It reaches for the starry sky. Her eyelids are heavy. They could close any second now. But still, she looks straight into my eyes. And for some reason, she smiles.
やっとマユシーはオカリンの
Finally, Mayushi was
役に立てたよ。
useful to Okarin.
何を。
What? Stardust handshake. Her delicate fingers grasp at the sky, but all they find is empty air. Her arm goes limp. I grab her hand before it hits the ground. Mayuri is no longer breathing. I've seen her die countless times. But this time it's too much. This time it's all my fault. I embrace Mayuri's tattered body, her lifeless, motionless tattered body. I clench my jaw and bite back my tears.
まゆり。ここからじゃあんまり。星が見えないな。
You can't see the stars from here.
こんなの。あんまりだろう。
How could this happen? Why did she have to die like this? What possible meaning could this death have? Yes, it happened because fate demanded it. Yes, her death is unavoidable, the result upon which this world line converges. I knew from the beginning that this would happen, but I never imagined that she would die saving me, and with a smile on her face.
やっと役に立てたって。一体どういう意味なんだよ。なあ。
What do you mean you were finally useful? Tell me, Mayuri. There is no future for Mayuri on this world line. And that brings me once again to the choice. Do I return to the Beta world line, killing Kurisu? Or do I leave things as they are and accept Mayuri's death? I can't run away. I am the one who twisted fate. I am the one who must decide. Whew. The sky is blue. I'm on the roof of Radikhan, after going back 56 hours with 2 time leaps. I lean against the wire fence and stretch out my legs as I look at the sky. I wanted more time to think. That's why I came back. Last time, I spent 2 days refusing to face reality. But that is no longer an option, now that I've confirmed Mayuri's death. This time, I need to reach a decision. But how? This equation has no solution. No matter what choice I make, someone dies. From a purely utilitarian viewpoint, I should choose the Beta world line, where CERN never creates a dystopia. But it's not that simple. Not for me. There must be some other way. According to Suzuha, 2010 is a point of great divergence at the attractor field level. I think that divergence had already commenced by the time I sent the D-mail reporting Kurisu's death. So when did divergence begin? I can't say for sure, but I think it was the moment we completed the phone wave, named subject to change. That was around the middle of July. Daru and I deemed it a failure right after completion. By the time Kurisu was killed, there was already a huge divergence at the attractor field level. Now that I think about it, reading Steiner activated that day when I sent the D-mail that started it all. At that moment, every pedestrian and vehicle on the main street of Akiba suddenly vanished. That feels so long ago. But now I can finally explain it. That was the moment I moved to the Alpha World Line. On the Beta World Line, where this all began, Suzuha didn't arrive in her time machine. Dr. Nakabachi's conference went ahead as planned, and the flow of tourists and shoppers through Akiba was unimpeded. But when I sent the D-mail, events changed on a huge scale. From my perspective, at least. On the current world line, Suzuha crashed her time machine into the roof of Roddy Khan, Nakabachi's presentation was cancelled, and this part of Akiba was closed to traffic. Because I was out on the street when the world line changed, it appeared to me as if thousands of people suddenly vanished. The truth is that they were never there to begin with. Like a magician's trick, it's so obvious once you understand how it works. The real problem is the timing of the D-mail. I moved to the Alpha World Line after Kurisu died. If I had sent the D-mail before she died, then I might have been able to intervene, even now, on this world line. But no, that would defy causality. I sent that D-mail because I saw Kurisu's body. That's the way it has to be. Who killed her anyway? I still don't know. It definitely wasn't suicide. What if I identify the murderer and send them a D-mail warning them off? Would that prevent her death? I mean, no one has tried to kill her on this world line, have they? Maybe there's a chance. However, to send that D-mail, I would first have to move to the Beta World Line. The more I think about it, the more futile it seems. I've already seen Mayuri die countless times. Everything I tried to prevent it failed. I understand all too well. When fate wants someone dead, nothing can stop it. I can't save Kurisu. There you are. I thought I was alone, but it seems that I was wrong. I turn around to see Kurisu standing in the open door. I avert my eyes. I can't look her in the face, not now. What are you doing here? Nothing. How did you know I was here? You said that you wanted to be alone? I ran the numbers and concluded that I had the greatest probability of finding you here. Then leave me alone. You don't have to look for me. I'm not a lost little boy. Hey, is that how you treat someone who's worried about you? Not that I'm worried about you or anything. Right after she gets herself flustered, Kurisu sighs and puts on a serious expression. I was going to leave you alone at first. But you've been acting weird the last couple of days. I mean, you're always weird, but more than usual. You look like a kid forced to eat crappy oatmeal. What happened? Nothing. Then why did you cancel the cracking of CERN? You're the one who said we shouldn't. Oh, so you're afraid of triggering arrest flags. I get it. You should praise me for obeying the law for a change.
いつもの独善的な態度はどこ行ったのよ。狂気のマッドサイエンティスト法王院京馬のくせに。
That's not like you at all. What happened to your ego? What happened to the insane mad scientist, Hoen Kyo?
独善的でなんかいられるか。
To hell with my ego!
今回ばかりは独善的じゃいられないんだ。
This time, it's not that simple. I have forced my ego on others before. Suzuha, Faris, Lukaku. I sacrificed their dreams for the sake of my goal. I justified it by telling myself that it was necessary to save Mayuri. I weighed their suffering against the alternative and made my self-righteous choice. But this time, the alternatives are impossible to compare.
仲間のどちらを見殺しにするかって決断を前にして独善的でいられたら、むしろどれだけ楽だっただろうな。
I have to choose which friend to let die. It would be so much easier if I knew what was right.
どちらかを見殺しってどういう意味？
Which friend to let die? What are you talking about?
なあ、クリスティーナ。俺は所詮ただの学生なんだよ。
I'm just a student, Christina. You know?
狂気のマッドサイエンティスト。法王院京馬。そんなの全部妄想だ。設定だ。気づかなかっただろ。
The insane mad scientist Hoen Kyoma? That's just a fantasy. A character I made up. I bet you had no idea.
いや、初対面時点でなんとなく気づいてましたが。
I may have figured that out when we first met.
初対面か。
When we first met? What if I hadn't found Kurisu's body back then? Let's try imagining that situation. If I hadn't seen Kurisu dead, I wouldn't have interrogated her before the seminar at ATF. Without hearing me call her a zombie, she wouldn't have taken an interest in me. She wouldn't have come to the lab. Ultimately, we would never have built the time leap machine, leaving me without the means to save Mayuri. And of course, Kurisu would not have become our friend. We would not be as close as we are right now.
答えて岡部。どういう意味なの？
Tell me, Okabe. What do you mean? I can't meet her questioning gaze.
どうしても言わないとダメか。
Do I have to tell you?
散々相談に乗ってやったでしょ。
You've never hesitated to ask me for help before.
今さら遠慮するな。
Don't hold back now. That's not what this is about.
だったら覚悟してくれ。
Then prepare yourself.
これから話すのは相談じゃない。事実だ。
What I'm about to tell you is the absolute truth.
お前にとっては死亡宣告になる。
And it could also be your death sentence.
Eh?
Kurisu's voice cracks a little.
俺は説明したよな。セルにクラッキングをすることでマユリが死ぬことのないベータ世界線へたどり着けると。
Remember what I told you before? When we delete the D-mail from CERN's database, we'll reach the Beta World line. When Mayuri doesn't die.
2036年のセルンのディストピアもなくなる。自由な未来が待ってるバラ色の世界線。そんな風に聞こえた。
And where CERN doesn't take over the world, right? Everyone lives. Everyone is free. You made it sound perfect.
バラ色なものかよ。
Perfect. It's anything but.
元凶となった最初の D メール。その内容はお前にも見せたはずだ。
I showed you the first D-mail, didn't I? The one that started it all?
ベータ世界線ではそのメールの内容が実際に起きた。
On the Beta World line, the events described in that D-mail actually happened. Kurisu is a genius. I have no doubt that she understands.
ベータ世界線ではお前は
Kurisu, on the Beta World Line?
7月28日に死んでいるんだクリス。
You die on July 28th.
そしてそれはアトラクターフィールド理論による収束のせいでどうしても回避できない。
And according to the attractor field model, nothing can prevent that from happening.
マユリを救おうとするなら俺はお前を見殺しにしないといけないんだ。
If I want to save Mayuri, I have no choice but to let you die. Kurisu says nothing. What expression is she making now? I reluctantly sneak a look at her face. She's staring out across the cityscape. Her eyes look distant. I see neither fear nor sadness in her face. She seems accepting. Kurisu is always like this. Always calm no matter what. It's hard to believe she's younger than me. Her soft chestnut hair blows in the wind. She lifts a hand to hold it down.
ねえ、岡部。
Hey, Okabe?
アトラクターフィールドってどこまで信憑性があると思う？
How credible do you find this attractor field model?
信憑性？
Credible?
あれって全部ジョン・タイター、天音さんの受け売りでしょ？
It's all second-hand info from John Titor, from Amane-san, isn't it?
2036年時点ではスタンダードらしいけど、
I get that it's the accepted model in 2036.
その時代の研究者たちは一体どうやってそれが正しいって証明したの？
But how exactly did scientists prove the existence of attractor fields?
理論が間違っていると言いたいのか。だが確かに収束は存在する。俺はそれを身をもって体験した。
Are you trying to say the model may be wrong? But I know for certain that convergence exists. I've experienced it firsthand.
収束は正しいとしても、
Even if they're right about convergence.
無限個に枝分かれした世界線が重ね合わせ状態になっているっていうのは？
What about the relationship between world lines?
俺が世界線を移動すると世界は再構成される。過去から未来までだ。
The moment I change world lines, everything is reconstructed. Past, present, and future.
それって岡部の主観での話でしょ？
But that's just from your perspective, Okabe.
あんたの脳が認識してる私はベータ世界線に行くと死んでるのよね。
Once you go to the beta world line, the me that your brain perceives will die.
それはつまり私が死んでいる世界線と私が死んでいない世界線のうちあんたの主観が前者を選んだってことになるわけだけど。
In other words, your perspective will have chosen the world line where I die, instead of the one where I don't. However,
あんたの脳が認識する世界と私の脳が認識する世界は別物かもしれないっていう可能性はないのかな？
why can't the world your brain perceives be different from the world my brain perceives? Brains. I forgot her speciality was neuroscience.
別物って世界が分裂するということか。
So you're saying world lines are independent?
分裂というか電車みたいなものなのかも。
Like trains, maybe.
電車？
Trains?
わかりやすい例を挙げると、
let me give you an easy example. Kurisu takes out her phone and starts fiddling with it.
路線図で調べてみたけど、秋葉原から横浜に行くのにどの路線を選ぶか。
If I want to take the train from Akiba to Yokohama, which route should I use?
お前鉄オタだったのか？
I didn't know you were a rail fan. Short for a railroad fanatic. An otaku with an interest in trains.
違う。例えよ、例え。
It's just an example. Jeez.
あんたは山手線で東京駅まで出て、そこから東海道本線に乗るのを選んだ。
You choose to take the Yamanote line to Tokyo Station, then transfer to the Tokaido main line for the rest of your trip. Kurisu keeps talking as she looks at her phone, apparently reading off an itinerary.
でも私は山手線で大崎まで行った後、湘南新宿ラインに乗った。
But I take the Yamanote line to Osaki, then transfer to the Shonan Shinjuku line.
もしかしたら別の人、橋田なんかはそもそもいきなり秋葉原から京浜東北線に乗っちゃうかもしれない。
Another person, say Hashida-san, might decide to take the Keihin to Hoku line for some reason.
まゆりなら東京から新幹線に乗るかも。
And Mayuri might ride the Shinkansen from Tokyo.
岡部と私は東京駅までは同じ電車に乗ってるけど、そこからは違う線に乗って同じ目的地を目指している。
You and I ride the same train until Tokyo Station, but from there, we ride different lines while still aiming for the same destination.
それを世界に当てはめるとパラレルワールドを主張するのか。
And that applies to the universe. You're claiming the existence of parallel worlds.
たまには私も妄想ぐらいする。
I like to use my imagination too, sometimes.
でも世界が一つだと誰が証明した？
But where's the proof that there's only one world?
鈴葉の言葉と俺のリーディングシュタイナーが。
Suzuha said so. And then there's reading Steiner.
正体不明のタイムトラベラーと原因不明の特殊能力ね。
In other words, an unknown time traveler and your unexplainable superpower.
鈴葉は正体不明では。
But we knew Suzuha.
彼女が橋田の娘かどうかは誰にも証明できない。2036年から来たかも、ディストピアのことも証明できない。実際に2036年にならないとね。
There's no way to prove that she was Hashida's daughter, or anything she said about 2036 either. Not without going there ourselves.
そもそも、もしリーディングシュタイナーが正しいなら、あらゆる人間の記憶があんたの主観に引きずられていることになる。
And if reading Steiner is what you say, then it means that your subjective experience influences the memories of every single human being.
そんなの無理がありすぎる。もしそうだったら、岡部は文字通り神よ。
That's completely absurd, Okabe. If it's true, then you're literally a god.
でも現実には神なんていない。
There are no gods in reality.
世界はあんたを中心に回っているわけじゃない。
The world doesn't revolve around you.
あんたの脳がそう錯覚させているだけ。
It's just your brain making you believe that it does.
世界にとってあんたが神だというなら、同体積の脳を持つ私も世界にとって神になれるわけで。
If that makes you this world's god, then I must be a god too. My brain is just as big as yours.
何が言いたいんだ。
What are you trying to say?
仮に岡部の主観が私が死ぬ世界線を選んだとして、私の主観も同じように私が死ぬ世界線を選ぶとは限らない。
Let's say you choose the world line where I die. That doesn't mean I have to do the same.
それは私の主観がここに存在していることからもわかる。
The fact is that I am standing here right now, observing the world with my own subjectivity.
すでにこの世界線は私が死なない世界線なわけだから。
I already exist on a world line where I don't die.
あんたの主観がベータ世界線に行ってしまっても、私の主観はここに留まることだってできるのかもしれない。
Even if your perspective shifts to the beta world line, my perspective might remain here.
精神はどこにあるかって話。そして私は私の精神をあんたの好きにさせたくない。
It's a question of where the soul lies, and I won't let you have your way with my soul.
科学者とは思えないほどのファンタジーな理論だ。
No true scientist would accept a hypothesis that flimsy.
でも可能性はゼロじゃない。
But there's a chance I'm right.
だからあんたは何も心配する必要はない。
So you have nothing to worry about. Kurisu smiles. How can she smile? I just told her that she's going to die.
私を見殺しにできないって言って悩んでるのよね。
The problem is that you don't want to let me die, right?
でも今の私の仮説で言えば、私は別の可能性世界線で生き続けていける。
But if my hypothesis is correct, I'll still be alive on another possible world line.
だからそもそも岡部は悩む必要なんてない。
So there's no reason to be afraid.
仮説は仮説だ。
It's just a hypothesis.
アトラクタフィールド理論だって仮説。
The same is true of attractor fields.
まだ誰にも何も証明されてないから。2036年時点では証明されていたとしても、その証明を今の私たちは確認できないから。
It hasn't been proven. Even if someone did prove it by 2036, that doesn't help us here in the present.
そう考えれば
In other words,
未来の可能性は無限よ。
anything is possible. Kurisu turns her back to me after finishing. It's an armchair theory. A daring armchair theory that could, quite possibly, render meaningless everything I've done up to now. How can Kurisu stay so calm? She's just an 18-year-old girl.
ちなみに心配なんかしてくれなくてもいいから。岡部にそんなことされたら結構プライド傷つく。
You really don't have to worry about me, Okabe. It would just hurt my pride if you did. Don't say it like that. Do I answer the phone? It really doesn't feel like the time. Part of me is tempted to just leave it in for today, make the decision later. I will save, just in case it has an effect on anything. And you know what, as I'm saving, I think we will leave it here. For today, we're going to pick it up here next time, where I'll have to either answer the phone or not. It doesn't feel like I should answer the phone. It feels like a conversation that, you know, it would be rude to pick up the phone for. But I guess we will find out. I have to say, it was a good conversation, but this game is too clever for me before 9 a.m. in the morning, which is when I'm recording this. I woke up early. So, this game is so good. The story, it's so well written. It's really well done. I don't know what they're going to do. It feels like, you know, Kurisu is coming up with a reason for him to go ahead and save this timeline. I don't know if she even believes her own hypothesis, or if she's sort of seeing it from the viewpoint that Okarin can't, that, you know, her death is maybe the better outcome when compared to Cern taking over the world and Mayuri dying. I don't know. Maybe she truly believes her hypothesis. But if there are parallel worlds, maybe he just needs to get onto one where they're both alive. And yeah, my cat's on the keyboard now, so it's definitely time to go. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you next time.